A calling without truly understanding your identity will lead you to a life that you were never meant to live. What do I mean by that? So, a lot of times as men, we can mistake our calling for who we are. When you do that, you're only as good as what you can produce. You're only as good as what you can create. You're only as good as the results that you can manufacture. The sad thing about that is if you don't keep producing, in your eyes, you'll lose your value. It's not how we were meant to live, guys. That's never how you were meant to be. One of the things that we got to understand is whenever you understand the priest and the king mentality, you need to look and see when the enemy came to tempt Jesus, what's the first thing he did? If you are the Son of God, he challenged his identity immediately. And he tried to replace his identity, if you are the Son of God, with what he could create, produce, or manufacture. If you are the Son of God, you could do X, Y, Z. So a lot of times in our own head, we'll get that same thing happening to us, but we're our own worst enemy. So we'll say, Matt, if you were a good father, you wouldn't have responded that way. If you were a good husband, you wouldn't have done this. If you were a good employee, if you were a good business owner, if you were a good insert anything here, you wouldn't X, Y, Z. See, the problem with that is we're people, we're humans, we're imperfect people attempting to carry a perfect gospel. Well, when we understand that, we can take the failures, the faults, the things that we can't create, reproduce, and all those things that happen to us. Sometimes things happen to us, some things we cause. It doesn't matter what the end result is. It matters that you need to understand that who you are is not a reflection or a sum of the decisions that have been made for you, made by you, or made to you. So you were created, and then you were born. Two different things. You were created in holiness and righteousness. You were created to have fellowship with God because God says that I wish that none would perish, that all would come to everlasting life with me. So you were created for fellowship. Your identity is a son or a daughter. Your identity is you were created by the creator of this universe. And then we were born. See, when you were born into a sinful world. You had no sin on you at that time. You came through the sin. You came and you inherited the sin of those before you. You inherited that sinful nature. You inherited the self-indulgent nature. And what happens in that nature is death is all around us. See, we look at death as just this finite thing. It's like, oh, I'm going to die. We don't understand that it could be the death of your dreams. It could be the death of your self-esteem. It could be the death of the calling or the life that God's called you to be at. It can be the death of any of those things if we don't understand who we truly are. See, in business, I've made millions of dollars, right? I've never possessed millions of dollars in my hand, but I've made millions of dollars in business. I've been so fortunate. I paid a bunch in taxes. I've made people rich around me. I've done those things. I've also failed. I've lost 50 or 60 grand at one hit. Boom, gone. Just gone. See, I've made bad decisions in my marriage. I've made bad decisions as a parent. I've made bad decisions and said terrible things as a son, as a brother, as a human being. I've done those things. It doesn't make me the sum of those decisions or actions. See, I was created to be something that I'm not able to possess here on earth quite yet. See, I was created to be holy, righteous, set apart, blameless, right? Well, here on earth, we can't walk in that fully. We can experience a piece of it. We can experience days to where maybe you don't sin. Maybe you don't do the things that we give into. We don't feed the self-indulgent nature. But your identity is a son, is a daughter. It's not the sum of the failures that you've produced. It's not the sum of the great decisions that you've produced. If you live life and you pursue a lifestyle that says, I'm only as good as what I can create or produce. See, that's a mainstream marketing technique that other people use fear and overwhelm you with the idea that someone is better than you because they have more value in the marketplace. The reality is somebody may be better than you at something. No person is better than the other person. See, we look at the outward expression of somebody's abilities. We take the outward expression of somebody's giftings and we say that that's their value. Oh, look at what they can do. Look at what they can create. I bet he's a great husband. I bet he's a great businessman. I bet he's great to work for. But see, the whole time we confuse what they're capable of with who they were called to be. It's two different things, guys. If you don't understand that, you'll end up succeeding in the way that you wanted to succeed, and you'll be empty when you get there. How do you avoid that? How do you live the life that God's called for you to live? How do you live that life? How do you get to the place to where you are trying to get to, and when you get there, you are fulfilled, you are content? See, content was a word that I was scared of for a really long time, because I felt like if I was content, I wouldn't keep trying. I felt like if I was content, I wouldn't keep pursuing. I felt like if I was content with where I wouldn't keep growing. The problem with that is I was basing my identity and who I was and my value and my self-worth on what I was capable of producing for people around me, or those that didn't have any influence over me at all. I wasn't working for somebody else. I was working for me. The problem is I judged my value based on what I could present to other people. It was a dangerous place to be at, and I didn't realize I was doing it. For decades, I didn't even know I was doing it until I achieved the very things that I wanted. I had a couple $1 million in real estate. I had a great business. My family was good. And then I was so empty inside. And I loved the Lord. I got saved when I was 19 years old. I loved God. Man, I was pursuing the Lord in my own way, the best way I knew how, right? I was pursuing God, and I was loving Jesus, and I was trying to be good to people and those that were around me. But the whole time, my value and my self-worth was wrapped up in what I was capable of doing, producing, and creating. I missed it. I missed it. I'm 39 now. I missed it for like 20 years. I missed it. Maybe 25 years I missed it. Now I'm at a place to where contentment is my goal. I can be content with the things that are around me. I can look around my life and I can say, man, I am so content. I am so happy. I am so fulfilled. And it took a hugely stressful prayer for me to get to that point. It took the prayer to say, God, if I created it and it's not meant for me, burn it to the ground. Burn it down. I don't want the things that I've created that aren't for me, God. I want to live and walk in the life that you've called me to live and walk in. I want to be the person, the human that you've created me to do and be, and I want to have all the things that you've created for me. And Lord, if I've given things away mistakenly, if things have been stolen from me, Lord, I want it back. If I gave pieces of my identity, if I gave pieces of my value, if I gave pieces of things that were created and meant for me away, if I've lost them, if I've given them to somebody inadvertently, if they've been taken from me, God, I want all those things back. But I also want you to burn whatever I've created that I'm holding up to the ground, please. It took that prayer for me to find a place of contentment in my life, because I knew no matter what lasted, no matter what stood, it was because it was God's ordination for my life. I lost some stuff, man. We went from making 25, 30 grand a month to making 2 or 3. Like just gone, right? Sold tons of real estate things. I thought I was supposed to be a real estate mogul. Why? Because that's what I saw everybody doing. Everybody that's rich makes money. They put it in real estate, you know. Man, real estate stressed me out so bad. I hate dealing in real estate. But I tried to do it because I thought everybody else around me was doing it. I was like, well, crap, I should be doing it too, you know. I hate doing real estate. But I did it because I felt like that was what I was supposed to do. I was living a life that wasn't for me, even though I was good at it. I'm great at making money. I'm very skilled at it. I'm talented at it. I'm not a manipulator. I don't sell people things they don't need. I try and figure out what the need is, and I meet that need in a way that I can monetize, but it gives them a fair, more than value of what they pay me. I'm very good at that. Even that, though, I ran away from for a while, and I'm just now getting back into it because I didn't want to fill my time, and I didn't want to fill my heart with the things that I'd given my heart to before, right? I wanted to say, God, I want what you want from me. And it's not to say that these gifts and skills were used mistakenly. I learned a lot. I've owned, probably like 20 businesses. I've sold several, made money on most of them, lost my butt on a couple, let's just be real. But I gave everything to God to the best of my ability. The only way I knew how to do that was, Lord, if I made it and it's not for me, burn it to the ground. And he did. And out of the wreckage, out of the rubble, out of the things that did get burned to the ground, I found who I was supposed to be. I found my identity. And it wasn't through the pain that I found it. It was through the stripping away of all the things that I'd put on willingly. It was through the taking of all of those things away that I realized who I really was. And I could lose the rest of it. I could lose the house. I could lose everything, right? And that would suck. Look, just be real. The whole process sucked. None of it was enjoyable. None of it was enjoyable. So this isn't I went through this. No. It was horrible. It sucked. But the whole time it was, God, please continue to get me through it. Strip the things that I've put on away, God. Burn those things away, God. Let what you created me to be stand. Let that last. And I'm still going through the process. I may put things on unwillingly, unknowing. I don't know. I'm trying my best, man. I'm a guy. I'm a man. I have my issues. I have my craziness. I still deal with depression sometimes, anxiety, stress, all those things. But at the end of the day, I know that whatever stands up is what God has for me. So I want to encourage you today. If you've achieved success at any level, if you've achieved goals that you set and you got there and they were empty, I would encourage you today, examine yourself. Look inside and say, Father, what did I create that wasn't for me to create? What did I make that wasn't in your will for my life? See, if you're a priest and king and you're a believer and you own a company and you own a business, or you work at Walmart, and that's fine. All of those things are great. None of those doesn't mean I'm more than you. None of that. It means I have different giftings, different skill sets, different areas of expertise than you do. All of that's fine. See, we're all equal in the presence and the mind of the Father. So I would encourage you today, God, how can I be content? How can I operate in the giftings and the skills that you've given me? How can I walk that out? Because that part is what I want, God. See, if you've achieved a goal, if you've achieved success in your own eyes, if you've achieved the things that you set out to achieve and you got there and you're on top of the mountain and all you can see is the next mountain because you're just not content, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, maybe you're on the wrong mountain. Results don't always equal success. You can do everything right and stuff still fails. You're not a failure. Something failed, right? That's the difference. We have to take that. So when you don't have your identity wrapped up in what you can create, produce, or manufacture, it will also not be wrapped up in the things that you can't produce, reproduce, or manufacture. So today, self-reflect. Ask that question to God, and then listen. Pay attention. Father, what are the things that I've created that aren't for me? What are the things that I've done that aren't for me? See, I used to confuse my capacity with my calling. Two different things. Because I can, I thought I should. Because I'm capable, I feel obligated to do it. But what happened is I worked redline the whole time. Your calling is here. It gives you margin. It gives you room. So those emotional things, that stressful stuff, it doesn't just spin you out. If you're always at capacity, the world will tell you, the people that are around you, successful people, I've been around billionaires. I thought I was doing it wrong because I was so stressed out. Turns out, billionaires constantly looking, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What do I need to do? What's the next goal? There's never a place of contentment. And culture and people around us and other influencers will tell you, well, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to go. You look at God. Look at the Word. Why did He give us a time of rest? Why did He call us to have fellowship with Himself? Why did He create us anyway? See, God created Adam out of the fertile soil of the ground. Why? So we could create, we could produce. All of that is within the scope of what we were created to do. But the thing that we miss a lot of times is God walked in the cool of the day with Adam. He walked in the cool of the day with him. Spent time with him, man. Encouraged one another. Talked to one another. That's what you were created for. Fellowship, relationship, community. An intimate connection with God. The one that created this entire planet. Everything that you hope to know, hope to achieve, God gave a way to create it, make it. His voice still resonates throughout the eternity. So the thing that I would encourage today, pray that prayer. God, I've hit these levels. I've succeeded. I've done all the things that people, maybe even I thought I was supposed to do. I'm still not happy, Father. I'm not content, Lord. What have I missed? This is not a condemnation message to say you screwed your life. This is a message to say you just got a little off track. It's okay. God's not angry with you. He's not upset with you. He's not mad at you. He's not even disappointed in you. The people that will tell you that, all they're doing is recreating the very law that Jesus came to overcome. It doesn't say the law's done away with. Jesus said that you can't complete the law. You can't complete the things that you were called to do. It was once said, if you murder, that's something you don't do. Well, I'm saying if you have an issue with your brother, you've done the same. It's not to put all this condemnation, all this weight on you. It's to say, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. It's to say, when you accept who you were called to be and created to be, you can walk in such a peace, man. It exists. It's real. It requires intimacy. There's going to be people around you. There's going to be culture around you. Culture is loud, guys. Culture is loud. Culture will scream at you and tell you how wrong you are, how right you are, how all these things. The reality is, the voice of God can always be a still small voice. Sometimes it's that internal voice. Sometimes it's a situation. Sometimes He'll send a watchman to speak over you and encourage you or warn you or give you an opportunity to correct and get to those paths. God wants nothing but the best for you. Pray that prayer today, guys. Man, if you've been encouraged, you've been blessed, if some of this has ministered to you at all, and you know somebody else that it could help or reach, man, send it to them. Share it with them. Step in and check on somebody that may not be doing good today. As men, we need to check on one another. Check on your wife. Check on your girlfriend. Check on your spouse. Check on your parents. Check on your kids. Check on somebody that God puts on your heart right now. A simple text. Hey, I was thinking about you today. Take a minute and pray for somebody today. There's such power in that. If this will minister to you, maybe it'll minister to somebody else that you know. Love you guys. Hope y'all have a good night. All right.